Hi, Brats Babes. For those of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I hope you're having a very lovely day. For those of you who don't, I still hope you have a lovely day. Um, so yeah, I just got done having dinner with my fiance's family, my future in-laws, and today was kind of a really rough day for me. I'm not gonna lie. So this is gonna be more of a personal kind of vlog. My mom kind of slipped a little bit. She's a former alcoholic and she's under a lot of stress right now, and she kind of slipped a little bit. And so she's been drinking, and I've been really stressed about that because like she was sober for like, I don't know, almost 2 years. Almost, not quite, but almost. And like, I don't know, the whole thing has me really upset. I'm not gonna lie. It was this huge miscommunication. So like what happened, I guess, was my brother didn't communicate with us about something that involved us. So he's been helping us restore this Victorian house that we bought like last year for like $100. I have another YouTube channel for that, except I haven't uploaded in almost a year, which is really rough. Because there has not been any further developments really with the house that I felt were worthy of, I guess, sharing with the internet. Mostly all we did was clean out the inside and tear down one chimney. Ooh, so exciting. And yeah, and I guess, so when I asked for my brother to help us with the project, because he's also very much into, old houses, Victorian houses and restoration, like that's his passion. And I didn't expect for it to backfire in the way that it has, because it has been directly correlated with my mother's, I guess, slip, falling off the wagon. And it kind of sucks that this has happened. So my stepdad, I call him Poppy, he I guess agreed to help out with cleaning it out of all the like rubbish and stuff, and debris. He agreed to help with that under, I guess, the belief that he was going to get paid enough to make his truck payment, and everything. And, this was communicated to him by my mother based on the words of my brother, where my brother, I guess, did not contact my fiance to actually discuss this at all with him, and rather than discuss and go over the idea with my fiance, he just volunteered the idea, and then it was misunderstood that I guess apparently coming from him, it was meant to just be an idea to float, but from my mother's perspective, it sounded like a confirmation that this was set in stone, that this is the agreed upon situation. And then, it's kind of complicated because my fiance is still relatively new to this new trucking job. He hasn't been able to get enough for us to get out of debt yet, because I got laid off this past summer, and I haven't been able to find a job since. Usually they see me, I use a cane actually a lot in my daily life, especially now that the weather's starting to warm up. It's about to become more regular again, and I'm gonna go back to keeping the wheelchair in the car. I don't know why, but when the weather warms up, my body sucks even more at holding itself together. I think it's just because the cold stiffens your body up a whole lot, that my joints are capable of staying in place when it's cold. So during the winter, I don't have to use my cane as much. But now that the weather's starting to warm up, it's probably something that I'm gonna have to worry about again or something. But anyway, so we're still trying to get caught up on our bills and our debts and everything. And here my brother is volunteering my fiance's paycheck, which, by the way, this past paycheck went entirely to rent and bills. And so it's we don't even have any money to help the situation right now. If we could, we would, but we just don't. And so mom's been really distraught because Poppy's mad at her because of the whole misunderstanding. We're all mad at Fluffy, my brother. I'm sorry, he doesn't like to be called Fluffy, but I'm trying to break the habit. It makes him feel really insecure about his size when, in fact, his nickname came from his really fluffy fro. He has a ginger afro and he's like 6 foot a zillion. So he stands out big time, but he I guess there's someone else out there called Fluffy because of their weight, and that makes him feel really insecure, I guess, about his own weight, and is like really worried that people think that people call him Fluffy because of his weight, when in fact it's about the fro. So yeah. But I'm also not going to use his real name here either. So that's kind of like another issue of its own. But it is what it is. So yeah, my mom's been crying all day. She's been really hard on herself. She was like, she's called me multiple times sobbing, straight up sobbing, talking about how she's sorry that I hate her now. And I'm like, I don't hate you. And I told her this multiple times. I'm not mad at her. I don't hate her and I don't blame her. We all slip. It happens. Like I said, like with my binge eating, I've slipped a few times this past week. I mean, it happens. Well, last week. We're in a new week now since it's Sunday. But then we went to after all of these very stressful phone calls for most of the morning, we went to my fiance's parents' house for Easter dinner, I guess. I don't really personally do Easter. I'm not really, like, I'm not a Christian. I believe in God. I'm not a Christian. I kind of have been, practicing the Jewish faith, actually. I'm not, like, a full Jew yet, but I'm converting into Judaism. Specifically Reform Judaism. So they're like really cool and LGBT friendly and progressive and everything like that. So, which is really cool. But anyway, so yeah, I don't really personally do Easter, but my fiance's family does, and they invited us over, and so of course we went, and I don't know. The dinner was okay. I was just so worked up and stressed out that I had a very hard time. Like, I had to really physically force myself to, like, eat it. We had turkey because my fiance's mom knows that I won't eat ham. And, it was like, okay, here's one that's safe, that I know everyone likes, is basically where she was coming from when she made that decision. So I was able to have some turkey. It was okay. I only had a little bit. And then I found like a chunk of fat or something. Some sort of, like, I don't know. And it was like really gross. And that kind of like really made it even harder. Because then I was approaching it all, like dissecting it very carefully, in case there was more hidden surprises of a similar sort. I also had a sugar-free strawberry pie that my fiance's mom made, homemade. It was very interesting, to say the least, but it was actually quite yummy, which I did not expect. It was actually quite yummy. It was made with fresh strawberries and everything like that. But yeah, I had a really hard time eating, Easter dinner and everything. I was able to choke down a little bit of turkey. I ate like literally one bite of mashed potatoes because my fiance made them, and I didn't want my fiance to think I rejected his mashed potatoes because, he made them like the perfect texture. They were very creamy. So yeah. And then, like, we also had sweet potato casserole, but I'm very careful about that because last year I legitimately did binge on it. It was really, really bad. And I don't mean like last year as in a year ago Easter. I mean last year as in like back in like around Thanksgiving. I binged on a bunch of her sweet potato casserole, and it's just like, ugh. I don't want to do that again, especially since I've just finally got out of the migraines. So I only had a little bit of it, maybe an eighth of a cup, like 2 tablespoons maybe, at most. So I had a very small helping because it is very yummy, and I also didn't want to hurt her feelings because she knows I love it. And so I didn't want her to think like it was anything personal, but golly, was it hard to get myself to eat. Because, like, I don't know, I was preoccupied. I kept thinking about my mom and stressing about that whole situation, and everything. And it was, like, really getting to me and stressing me out. So I just couldn't focus on the meal, and I couldn't, like, eat. I couldn't sit there and, like, eat. Like, don't get me wrong, I did. I made myself eat, but it was a very hard thing to do because of how stressed and preoccupied I was. So I suppose that my Easter could have been better, but considering I don't really do Easter, and the bar was literally on the ground, I can't say I'm overly, like, I don't know, disappointed. You kind of, if you always expect disappointment, you never are disappointed. And holidays, I'm quite used to them being quite disappointing. Growing up in my family, you have to get used to being disappointed. My dad doesn't buy anyone gifts. He doesn't do birthdays or holidays or anything, because why would he ever want to buy us a gift? So it's like, I don't know. You got used to being disappointed growing up in my household. So, and now, like, I'm an adult and I'm still used to disappointment. Sometimes he'll get me things that are actually genuinely nice, and then he'll give me things that he very clearly picked up from somebody's rubbish and decided to pretend that it was a thoughtful gift. Like, he gave me this, like, lunch box that clearly came off of some little kid's backpack and didn't even have the backpack with it. So it's just this strapless little pouch. I don't even know if it's a lunchbox. It might have just been an attachment, like, pouch thing for the backpack, but I can tell where it would have been strapped in, and everything. And it's just like, cool, thanks, Dad. Whatever. It has Spider-Man on it, so I guess it was thoughtful. But it's definitely very awkward. I've put a new chain on it, basically. I took one of my chains from one of my phone cases and put it on there and kind of turned it into, like, a little purse for my headphones. But they don't really fit in there all that well, so I got to figure out something else to do with it. Maybe I'll make it into, like, I don't know, some sort of, like, I don't know yet. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a very stressful day, which is really kind of frustrating because, like, it started out on such a good note. Like, it could have been such a wonderful day, and it's really nice outside, too, for the most part. It's starting to get a little chilly now, but... Oh, hello, little spider. I'm so sorry I'm disturbing your little home. Golly. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Poor little guy. But I suppose that's what happens when you build your web between 2 moving parts. The wind blows and it's gonna get disturbed. But he is an outside spider, so I suppose that's something he's quite used to. Anywho, and no, I'm not assuming this spider's gender. It's just, it's such a tiny spider and the females are usually larger. And that's what I'm basing it off of. Or I could just be blind and that's not even a spider. It's really, really teeny, 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 tiny. But yeah, so, like, I could be wrong about what it is. Oh well. But anyway, gosh, wouldn't it be funny if that's just a fleck of lint in the spider web that's been abandoned? That's gonna drive me crazy now because I feel like I'm just like, gosh, I'm really distracted by that little, like, the thought of that little spider. If that's a little spider. Oh no, that's a dead insect carcass, I think. Nope, that's a spider, that's a spider. Oh, that might be a female spider. That whole thing is just the butt. And technically the butt is actually not called the butt. That's the abdomen. The big round part at the very back, that's actually their abdomen. That's where all their internal, like, I guess, organs are, for lack of better words. But yeah, no, that's a little spider. I saw it from the correct direction to see the little, you know. But anyway, sorry I got distracted by the spider. I just got really stressed out about the idea of destroying its nest. Well, web. I haven't destroyed it though, so we're okay. I'm just being more gentle now. But yeah, so basically what we've decided to do is say, screw it. The house is not worth destroying the family over. The house is not worth my mom's sobriety, her mental health. It's not worth my stepdad and mom fighting. It's not worth my brother being, you know, I guess in a bit of a disagreement with my fiance. It's just not worth all this headache and all this stress. So it's just like, okay, it's time to move on. It is time to just be done with this house because it is clearly not working out. It is clearly not going to magically work out. It is just tearing us apart further, and so it's just time to move on. We're gonna donate it, actually, to a historic preservation group in our city, and that way it still gets saved, and that way we didn't technically fail, but we definitely didn't reach our own personal goals with it. And, you know, I've made peace with it. Like I said, I'm over it. I'm so stressed about mom that I just don't care. Maybe I'll regret it in the future. Maybe I probably will. But guess what? I don't care at the moment. And I guess I'm going to have to look at this video in the future when I feel myself regretting. Because I need to know, like, I need to remind myself. This condemned house is not worth my mother's mental health. It is not worth my mother's sobriety. It is not worth the family fighting and stress. It is not worth my mom sobbing all day on frickin' Easter. I don't know. It's just, I think this has probably been the worst Easter of my life. But family drama, honestly, I'm not surprised that that's the thing that ruined today. And then my fiance's father is such a control freak. So the whole time we're there, he's lecturing him. Lecturing my fiance like my fiance is a child who doesn't know how to do anything. Telling him what to do, how to do it, where to put things. Oh, don't put that in that bag that is going to go, you know, with y'all home. Put it in that other bag that's going to go with y'all home. Who cares? It's going to the same freaking place. And he's so mean to his wife. Like, he is so mean to my fiance's mother. And he just kept being rude to my fiance. He kept being rude to everyone. And it was starting to really tick me off. I'm usually very good at, you know, keeping calm around him, even when he's being in a difficult mood. He's kind of a terror to his whole family. And he's an alcoholic, I guess. So he's just a crabby, grumpy, mean person who has to be mean and tear down, you know, my fiance's mother all the time for no reason. He's always going to find something to nitpick about, to a point where she literally will find it herself before he gets a chance to say it. She'll sit there and be like, here's what's wrong with this meal that I cooked. And then I'm sitting there reassuring her, no, this is delicious. This is wonderful. This is great. Thank you. You know, but she keeps just taking a dump on her own work. And it's just like, okay, so you clean this whole house. You take care of this grumpy old man. You take care of the cat. You also do all the cooking. You're also taking care of your kid. Even though your kid's like an adult, like still, she does help out, honestly, sometimes. Like, she helps him out whenever he's, like, I guess, strapped for cash and needs a little bit of food money on the road, you know? She's a really good mother and a really, like, she's a freaking wonderful housewife of, she's a retired now, so now she's, like, just a housewife, and he's retired, so he's also just kind of someone who sits at home, and they're empty nesters now, but, like, she also cleaned house, raised a son, took care of him, took care of animals as well, pets. They grew up with, like, my fiance, he grew up with pets, a wiener dog and a cat. And now they have a different cat because the other cat got really old and died. Actually, I think she died of cancer, but she died of natural causes. I guess if you can call cancer natural. But anyway, so it's just like, and she's also keeping the house clean, and she was a lab tech at a hospital for like 40 years or more. I don't actually know, but she was a lab tech at a hospital for years and years, on top of taking care of the household things, taking care of a kid, and taking care of a husband and pet that are all reliant on you solely. And I really hate seeing just how beaten down she is. It really breaks my heart, and that's what really, really, really irks me about my fiance's father, because he's just disrespectful and rude, and he is just, I don't know. I just can't respect someone who tears down their own family. It's really hard to respect someone who tears down their own wife, who tears down their own son, who treats them like they're incompetent and stupid. Like all they do is mess up. Like all they're capable of doing is making mistakes. And it really irritates me. It ticks me off. But that's just me, I guess. Anyway, guys, sorry for such a negative video. I really needed to vent. And thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday if you celebrate. And if you don't, I still hope you're having a wonderful day regardless. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, the whole 9 yards if you so feel like. I'm not going to peer pressure you. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye, Bratz Babes. See you around. Love you.